Hi everyone, I'm back. It's been a while. As you can see, it's a little bit colder now. It used to be summer, so I haven't done one of these in a long time. I just wanted to get back to this. I've been, tell you the truth, procrastinating, just not, doing what God needs me to do. But I'm glad I'm back, and I want to get started with a prayer. Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Lord, help me transmit whatever you want to for your children to hear. Help, let it help people understand and be aware of what's going on, what's happening. Most of all, let it save and help bring more souls to you. That is your goal, and your ultimate goal is to be with everyone, most of the people that you can be with. May it be a blessing to other people, and let your will be done, not mine. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen. So last time I left off with talking about CERN, I believe, and I'll just go through this real quick. I think I started talking about these, how I began to understand a lot of what I know now, and thinking back on it, it's kind of weird thinking how I never used to know any of this. I was oblivious, like a lot of other people, to what's going on. But it's just surreal. It's just surreal ever thinking that at one point I didn't know any of this, and I was just another person going through the motions. Yeah, I was a Christian, but I think this part of knowing really motivates you and gets you moving on the urgency that we need to have of what's going on right now in the world. I've talked to my mom, which she's a Christian, and she's one of the people that told me about tell me about God and Jesus. And I've been telling her, hey mom, I look what I found out. I found out this and that and the other. And every time I talk to her about it, she says, you know what, I'm really not interested. All I know is that Jesus is coming back, and that's all that matters. And yeah, to a point, that's what matters. But knowing what's going on and keeping up what's going on in the world really gives you an idea of where you're at in God's timeline. I'm really excited because of my later broadcast will be about the prophecies, and not only in Revelations. I've read Revelation several times, and I can only get a handful of things out of it, because as it says in there in Daniel, basically you're not going to understand. If God doesn't want you to understand, you're not going to understand what the prophecy is saying, or what it's talking about, or what's going to happen. So it's pretty much sealed up, as it says in the books, up to a point. There was this one instance, I'll get into this real quick, where I just prayed real fervently to God. I told him, I want to understand this. I want to see what, because I've been taught since I was young, certain how do you call it? For Revelations, for instance, they taught us that this image means this, and these beasts mean that. And the water means people, and so forth. But I was never really satisfied with those explanations. And there's several different explanations of that prophecy. So, in anyway, after reading Revelation several times, I just thought this doesn't mean what the pastors taught me all these years that it meant. This means something else. So anyway, I prayed to God several times with all my heart. By the way, I believe that's the only way your prayer is really heard and answered. When you pray and just go through the motions, say the same prayer over and over again. Day after day, pray about the same thing, pray about health, about family. That's just blather, to God, I believe. Really talking to Him, really opening up your heart, really asking Him for something that, that's troubling you, that you want, that, the other part of prayer is also, people forget, it's not just a one-way street. You don't just ask for what you want. It's always about me, about me, about me. Prayer is also supposed to be about praising God, and believe me, that's one of the things that makes you the happiest in this life, if not the only thing that makes you happy. I like the saying that one pastor said. He said, like it or not, humans were made to worship God. That's their purpose. Just like animals, they're made to be companions. Everyone worships their Creator, and if you're not doing it, then you're never gonna find happiness. You're never gonna be satisfied. You're never gonna fill that void. But anyway, I prayed about the learning how to understand Revelations, and He didn't show me the entire thing, but He did show me part of it, which was, it's pretty amazing when you pray and God answers. Obviously, He didn't answer that exact that instant, but I remember I was on the couch watching a YouTube video about Revelations, and I don't know if it was the day before, I'd been watching another video which was about the Illuminati organization, and when I was watching the second video, it just clicked. I was like, that's what this is. That's what this has been all about. But anyway, I'll get into that when I get into the prophecies. Right now, I'll continue on to how I came to know all this. So things just started to click for me. It started with the aliens, with ghosts, with CERN, and it just started snowballing. It's like everything has to do with angels, with Satan and God, and this ancient conflict. So I started getting more interested, and then also started noticing a lot more things. For instance, in the entertainment industry, there's a band called the MGMT. I don't know what that stands for, but there's a song called Alien Days. And after researching about these aliens and them not being real extraterrestrial, but rather angels or of some sort, evil angels, I'd heard the song and the lyrics seemed kind of weird. I don't condone people listening to this band or anything, but it's just one of those bands that are probably into the occult and mysticism, tarot card readings, and so forth. So, and a lot of these, well, I'll get into it a little bit later. But anyway, the lyrics, I'll read a little bit about it. Basically, it's really interesting when you start to read them. You start to see that evil side, Satan side, also knows what's going to happen. They know about Christ's second coming. They know that they might lose. They know a lot more than a lot of Christians know. Basically, they know both sides. They know that there is evil that's going on right now, and it's getting pretty close to that time where something really bad's going to happen. But anyway, here the song starts. Sometimes the windows combine with the seams in a way that twitches on a peak at the place where the spirit was slain. So this, when I read it, I thought, hey, sometimes the windows combine with the seams. That's just, and to tell you a little bit about this, the lyrics have a double meaning. Basically, it's all said in double meaning. So it's a little bit hard to understand. But I think these guys are talking about dimensions, how they combine in the seams. Apparently, they combine where the spirit was slain. All I can think about was maybe I don't know, at Golgotha, or I don't know. One foot leads to another. Nights for sleep. Blue curtains, covers. You know what that means. Sequins in the eyes. That's a fine time to dine. So I guess that's a good time for them to do whatever they do. Divine, who's circling, feeding the cards to the midwives. Midwives are like witches. That's how I understand these guys use that word for. What do they call it? Psychics. Who love those alien days, the non-stop alien days. Oh, the alien days. Here it talks about the ship and going for a ride on a ship. Probably an alien aircraft. A couple hours to learn the controls and commandeer both my eyes. Be quick, dear. Times are uncertain. 1 month crawling. Next year blurring. Decades in the drain. Monograms on the brain. Decide what's wrong and what's moved on to the last phase. The floodgate alien days. I love those alien days. What really is interesting here is this next part. Here we go. When the peels are down, it feels like traveling in style. You don't need wings to hover 40-ton stones for a mile. That's what got me. That's what got me right there, and I said, whoa. These guys, you know, the island of, what's it called? Easter Island, that was discovered near Chile. It's named Easter because it was discovered on Easter Day, Easter Sunday. They always wonder how they move those colossal structures. I think I forget how many. There's I forget the number. It's like 800 and something statues that are all facing towards the ocean, and there's only a few of them that are facing inward. So it's really got a lot of meaning, and I bet my bottom dollar that it's got to do something with fallen angels or Satan or something. But they're telling you right here that you don't need wings to hover. So basically, you don't need either they're talking about angels that have lost their wings, or they're talking about, you know, you don't need an aircraft to move a 40-ton stone for a mile. Basically, I've heard of people been able to move objects telepathically, telekinetically. I've heard them doing it with small objects, but I bet these fallen angels have a little bit more power. Can move larger things. Let's see. Today, find infinite ways it could be, plenty worse. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. So these guys are saying, you know, these guys, they spend a lot of time with these other alien beings or demons or fallen angels. So they're saying it's a blessing, but it's also a curse. You know, you might get power, but it's also a curse. Though those days taught me everything I know, how to catch a feeling and when to let it go. I've learned through not just this song lyric, but other lyrics, that catching a feeling refers to someone invoking a demon into their body. Here, I guess they're talking about it. Those days taught me everything I know, how to catch a feeling, how to ask a demon to come into your body, and when to let it go. Sometimes I guess it's hard, you know. Obviously, if you let something in your body, you don't have much control of it. You know, it goes when he wants to go, and when to let it go. To deal with Satanists and occultists that deal with demon practice and invocation, is they really have no control of when the thing goes, when the demon goes. But since they want to keep that good relationship, you know, they sort of make a pact with the devil. Hey, you know, you can come in my body, but go when I tell you to. I mean, if the demon wanted, you'd just stay in there the whole time, and you wouldn't care. But since this person is working for them and doing things for them, so they want to maintain a good relationship. So they're like, okay, I'll leave so you can do other stuff that we need you to do. However, if a demon goes into someone that's just unaware and doesn't really want them there, they'll stay for however long amount of time they want. Obviously, if they don't have the protection of God and the closeness with Jesus. How all the scheming, soulless creatures can't find dreamers, honey in the hive. I don't know what they're talking about there. If it's right beneath the nose. And when the light is new, the sky shows trembling cartoons. I don't know what they're talking about here either. You don't need smoke to cover most of the world in a gloom. This is another phrase that I'm like, whoa. I mean, if they're not talking about evil presence in the world, I mean, jeez, it's pretty simple, plain, clear as water here. But here comes racer number 7. This is something I've been hearing about too, that as the Bible tells us, the Antichrist is coming. These guys also hope for like the chosen one, or what do you call them? I guess they're waiting for someone to come and basically do their last day's bidding for them, which we know is going to be the Antichrist. I just heard a video about a lady saying that she was part of the Illuminati, and I guess they had a schedule. Obviously it changes because they're humans, and they can't keep schedules, and things change. But it's supposed to be by 2050, that person was supposed to be back. Or not back, or was supposed to come. So these are all the things that urge me. You know, you gotta do something. You gotta let more people know. You gotta move your butt. You gotta tell people about God. You know, spread the Bible. Um, and the way my mom sees it, and she's no, you know, I'm fine. I believe in God. I'll be protected. He's gonna come back, and I'll be fine. Yeah, I know that too. I know that I'm gonna be fine. I know that you're gonna be fine. I want other people to be fine too. You know, don't be selfish. Move and do what Jesus told us. Make disciples of all nations, so that they can be saved and be with God as well. And then at the end it says, "Watch my fingers ripping out the lines. If it looks like we could lose, if it looks like we could lose, if it looks like we could lose." So they pretty much know that. I mean, these guys are at least smart. They know they're gonna lose. A lot of the Illuminati think they're gonna win. They're that dumb, you know. So anyway, when I saw these lyrics, it started to open my eyes. You know, things just started to click, come together, connected. Everything that's been in books, in history, and that's ever been taught, that's unexplainable, that's science, that whenever you put in, my cousin would like to call it God's puzzle piece. There's always this puzzle piece missing for quantum physics, say, or for quantum mechanics, or time, space, physics, you know, so forth, evolution, whatever you want, you know, things that humans aren't certain that happened or can be explained, or whatever. If you put God's little puzzle piece, if you put God in whatever question you have, you can't answer it, for instance. Well, how did the Big Bang occur? A lot of people say, well, you know, it's just a bunch of gases that were pretty close together, and they got really close, and blah, blah, blah. Who made the gases? I mean, they just didn't happen out of nowhere. Who made time? Who made gravity? Those are the more pressing questions. Whatever scientists can tell you, oh, well, you know, gases have always existed, and blah, blah, blah. What about gravity? Yeah, how did that come about? Who made that? Oh, well, that's the force that's always been. Okay, what about time? If it's always been, what about time? When did it start? When did it end? But when you input God has always been, always has been, always will be. That's why he says, I am that I am. Because there is no beginning, there's no end. There might be a beginning and end to time, but not to God. But anyway, that's another side note. So the entertainment industry, let's see how we're doing on time. Okay, we'll pass a little bit, we'll do another one.